Welcome to TMZ Live. Savannah Guthrie is now acknowledging what a lot of people have been whispering. We are now at day 24 since Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, abduction, and she said pretty clearly and starkly, it will take a miracle to find her mom alive. Savannah posted something new today, upping the reward, but listen to just how dark and stark the situation is, and we're going to get into the fact that this is becoming very quickly a cold case.
It is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed. We still believe in a miracle. We still believe that she can come home. She may already be gone. She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves. If this is what is to be, then we will accept it. But we need to know where she is. We need her to come home. We are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery.
The fact that she's now saying, essentially, Nancy Guthrie probably is not alive, is not something that was planted or told to the family by law enforcement. Our law enforcement sources, our FBI sources, are telling us that this is a conclusion that was drawn by the family itself and not with the help of law enforcement or the law enforcement saying, look, the situation is bleak. Everybody kind of knows it, but this is an elderly woman who has medical issues, and you know, the handwriting is kind of on the wall, and as Savannah says, it's going to take a miracle. So she has upped the reward, and a lot of people are talking today about this photograph, a photograph of the presumed kidnapper, and this was sometime before the actual abduction on February 1st. If you look, he's wearing the same jacket, seems like he's wearing the same clothes. He does not have the backpack on or a gun, something he had in the video that we've seen, and in that still photo on the right, that it is something different. And it was not taken that day, February 1st. Now, our law enforcement sources are saying they believe it was taken January 11th, nearly a month before the actual abduction, but they are not certain of that. It turns out Nancy's Nest system, she didn't pay for a video subscription. So she didn't have video in her system. But Google, which apparently owns Nest, is able to retrieve some of it, which is how law enforcement got these images. They think, based on their investigation, that January 11th is when it was shot, or when they got that picture, but it was not time-stamped. So it's a working theory. But whatever their theory is, our law enforcement sources, and they are sources directly connected to the investigation, involved in the investigation, they are saying that none of these images have produced any real leads. They do not have a car. They don't have a suspected getaway car. They don't have a suspect yet. This person has been able to evade authorities in a way I have rarely seen in my career. I saw it in the 70s and 80s, before the internet, before Ring video and all. But this is unbelievable, that you can't trace a ransom note, you can't trace the reward demand, you can't figure out from video who these people are or this person is, you can't find anything on surveillance video. It is like the invisible man.
Totally. And it's really disheartening that, I mean, a lot of people are saying, you know, how come it took 24 days for even the family to put up this $1 million reward? But the reality is we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, why there's a reason for everything. I'm sure this is a super sensitive situation, but for the past several weeks here, it's been every day has been kind of lots of updates. And in the past few days, it's been this lull, and it's starting to feel very much like, is this ever going to get
Well,
solved?
the lull has really been going on the whole time. It's just, it's not the way it's been reported.
No, exactly.
They have just hit dead end after dead end after dead end. They have no leads today. And look, I have talked to sources in law enforcement, one FBI source in particular, who's saying, look, this is becoming a cold case. And that feels very disheartening, but this person had some really interesting, an interesting take on this, that in 4 or 5 months, somebody's gonna go to a bar and drink a little bit and then just start gabbing. And we saw this, I'll give you an example, with Kobe Bryant. If you remember, the way they found out that some of the sheriff's deputies were taking cell phone videos of the accident scene was one of the deputies apparently went to a bar and tried to pick up a woman and started bragging he has this video, and the bartender overheard it and called authorities.
Oh my God.
So that is something that authorities, that the FBI thinks is gonna happen, that somebody's gonna talk. And if it's not the kidnapper, it could be the kidnapper's girlfriend today, who isn't gonna be the girlfriend in 6 months, and is gonna grouse to somebody, my ex did this.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen that, and anyone that watches like true crime shows, like real life cases, that has happened time and time again. It's just somebody kind of slips up, and then if you hear something, say something.
Yeah,
So.
and that's, they really believe it's not, this is not kind of, this kind of foolhardy idea. They really believe that that somebody is going to say something, and all they need is that one tip, and it's going to crack this case wide open.
Hi, Kristen from Boston. I am really curious why they waited so long for the reward money to come out. We live in a society that people are very motivated by money, and everybody has technology at their fingertips. So I'm really curious why they did this, and maybe the lesson will be that in the future to move quicker, to move faster, to put the big reward money out there sooner.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but you got to remember, you don't know what they know. And it's not like they were being cheap and they said, we're not going to offer money because we just don't want to pay. That is not the Guthrie family. You know the Guthrie family will do anything to get their mom back. And that's, I don't think you can argue that. And given that, they're talking to law enforcement. Remember, Savannah Guthrie said at one point early on that they were going to pay the ransom from that first note, and then they didn't. And there's a reason they didn't. I don't know what it is, but they didn't just say, oh, no, we're not going to pay the money because we don't want to spend it. That's just no way that happened. They've been talking to law enforcement, and they have reasons behind what they're doing. So Lisa Rinna has a book out called You Better Believe I'm Going to Talk About It. And there is something that actually is not in the book that could be if they could have stopped the presses, which they didn't. We broke a story yesterday that at an event for the Traitors, that's the TV show, the reality show she was on, she claims she was roofied at a bar. And I actually talked to her husband, Harry Hamlin, today, and he said, yeah, I was there and it happened. So it is a bizarre thing where one of her arch enemies from the show, Colton Underwood, apparently sides with her.
Yeah, this is like a very scary story. So this event happened in early January. We're told everybody was there. And at one point, Colton Underwood, which like you said, very shocking for him to kind of take the role as a superhero because they have not been seeing eye to eye on the Traitors. But he noticed, we're told, that she was inebriated. And she and Colton were together the whole night. He didn't see her really drinking. I think she maybe had one drink. So he felt that she was possibly roofied.
Well, that's what Harry feels.
Yeah, there was just no way.
And she does too.
Yeah, and there was just no way that off of this one drink she was going to have the results that she was showing.
What happened? I mean, did she just pass out? Or?
No, it's unclear exactly what signs of like drunkenness she was showing, but Colton knew something was wrong, and we're told that he notified her team that was there, saying like, hey, something's not right. So her team allowed her to take a photo, and then we're told after that her team took her away. So it's unclear if she went to the hospital or she filed anything, but very scary moment, and good on Colton for speaking up.
So one of the things that is mentioned in the book, which I just think is fascinating, because I'm old enough to remember this, is her husband, longtime husband, Harry Hamlin. Her husband, there have been these kind of ongoing rumors that have dogged him for decades now that he's gay. And that, Lisa, despite the fact that Lisa's been married to him, that he had other girlfriends, that he's gay. And Lisa's saying, enough of this already. And by the way, it's not true. But the reason these rumors came out was a long time ago, I think it was 1980, Harry Hamlin did a movie. It was a very famous, kind of a controversial movie at the time called Making Love. And in that movie, his character has an affair with another actor who played by Michael Onkeen. And it became a huge hit, and it was something that everybody talked about. At the time, Harry was dating an actress by the name of Ursula Andrews, who was much older than him. So everybody was saying, oh, we get it. And this kind of dogged him for a long time. He went on to do other movies and huge TV shows like L.A. Law, where he was a Lothario on that show. And so, even though he went on to do other movies and played straight characters, that whole thing has kind of dogged him for, and not, as Seinfeld would say, not that there's anything wrong with it, but that he couldn't shake that for a long, long time. And she says finally in the book, enough.
Hey, Ashton from Alabama. Yeah, Lisa Rinna being roofied at a party, that's horrifying. And if it is true, I hope she goes after them. This is too common, and the person responsible usually gets away, and enough is enough. And Lisa Rinna always wants to talk about it. I'm excited to read her book, so I hope she talks about this and goes after them.
Yeah, I want to read her book too, because she's a very, very open person.
Coming up.
Okay, we are going to talk about stupid stuff on this show today, and multiple things that are stupid. One of them is how the men's hockey team is getting dragged for laughing at something that Donald Trump said. This is why I think the internet is so poisonous.
Be right back.
Okay, we are going to talk about stupid stuff on this show today, and multiple things that are stupid. One of them is how the men's hockey team right now, the U.S. hockey team, is getting dragged for laughing at something that Donald Trump said. I want to show you what Donald Trump said. I want to show you the reaction, and then we're going to hear from one of the stars of the U.S. men's hockey team.
We'll do the White House the next day. We'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. Absolutely. I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay?
Okay, so Donald Trump makes a crappy joke about, oh, we're going to have to bring the women's team too, which, by the way, won gold. And they laughed. So now, all of a sudden, people are dragging the men's hockey team, saying they're sexist, that they laughed at what Trump said, which was totally out of line, that they're not supporting the women's team. So Jack Hughes, the star who won the game, had a thing or two to say about that.
Are you guys excited to be going to the White House and meeting Trump?
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, anytime, everything is so political. We're athletes. We're so proud to represent the U.S. And when you get the chance to go to the White House, meet the president, we're proud to be Americans, and, that's so patriotic. So no matter what your views are, we're super excited to go to the White House tomorrow and just be a part of that.
How do you feel about the women not going?
They got busy schedules too. I mean, I know we're getting everyone's giving us backlash for all the social media stuff today, but it's so negative. People are so negative out there, and they're trying to find a reason to just put people down and make something out of almost nothing.
Well, he went on to say that they partied with him till 3 in the morning in Miami.
And that there were no bigger supporters of the women's team than the men's team.
And
which I believe.
Can I tell you, this is why I think the internet is so poisonous.
Oh, yeah.
That it's only about, let's find something to crap on somebody.
Right. Oh, and it's just.
And that's ridiculous.
It is, and it's the people on the extremes, both sides, that they break through the noise. I don't think most people had a problem with this. It's stupid. It's so stupid. It's just, in my mind, it's just because it's Donald Trump. It wasn't a funny joke, but I also think it was. I don't know.
So they laughed at it.
Right.
I mean, come on.
What are they going to do? They're on the phone with the president.
So speaking of, because commercial flights are kind of on the tarmac right now, the government sent a government jet down to Miami, so that the men's team could get on the plane and be part of the State of the Union tonight.
Right.
Women have decided not to go.
No,
they're going to go to
some other
Vegas.
plans. Yeah, they're going to hang out with Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav in Vegas at some point, but that's political too.
Yeah, I think it probably is. I think that was a kind of them clapping back at the president.
I will say that I can't wait for the State of the Union tonight for two things. One, I can't wait to see Trump's interaction with Amy Coney Barrett and Neil Gorsuch, the two Supreme Court.
It's going to be icy.
But
when they walk out, Harv, and he shakes everyone's hand, I'm looking forward to that moment.
He's going to snub them. He's going to say something.
Yeah.
He's going to say something when he's on the podium.
Take
I
it
want
to
to
the
see their
bank.
reaction. And then the rare moment where everybody, Democrats and Republicans, will stand up and applaud the men's team.
Do you think there's any chance after everything that happened with this controversy that the Democrats don't cheer?
If the Democrats don't cheer, they are stupid. It is ridiculous if they don't stand up and cheer for them.
Yeah, I get excited about the State of the Union always, but particularly tonight.
I want to see those two things.
Yeah, me too.
Hi, this is Toby from New York here. As a former junior Olympian myself, I think there's no better time every couple of years to bring American pride together than the Olympics. And funny enough, with recent success of shows like Heated Rivalry, you'd think that the Canadians could live up to the hype, but isn't this their main sport? I don't know. It feels really good to be American, and I'm glad the boys and the girls got to bring home the gold, and I hope that we can all cheer them on together.
It is so funny you say that because Justin Trudeau had actually famously talked about the fact that they are king when it comes to hockey.
You won't take our country, and you won't take our sport. And
that's what he said. Yeah. That's what he said. Oh well. So congratulations to Bonnie Blue and her soon-to-be baby daddy. Whoever that may be, she's the one who had sex with 400 guys. She's pregnant, she says, if you believe her. So a lot of people are wondering, who's the father here? Since she had that famous little romp where she wanted to break a record on, on OnlyFans, and she wanted to show that she could have more sex than anybody in one day. And she says she had sex with 400 guys. So now the question, who's the daddy? So where do you go when you want to find out who's the real father? Are you the father? Who do you go to? You go to Maury Povich. And that's what everybody is doing online right now. Even though Maury's show has been off the air for a long time, they're going to Maury.
I thought he was going to lean into this, but he's clearly not down because he posted on Twitter saying, "Stop tagging me." Like, he doesn't want anything to do with this situation. And honestly, I think it would have been genius for him to lean into this a little more, but maybe he realizes that it's all BS. It's all fake. I don't even believe she's pregnant.
Well, that's a lot of people are saying that too. But what a great live streaming thing to bring all those guys out.
Well, I think that's her long play. It's like she did the thing where she allegedly slept with 400 women or guys. Yeah. And now it's like, okay, now I'm pregnant, and now we have a whole nother thing where now we try to find out who the guy is.
But, if they did like a Netflix live event, if they do boxing with guys in their 50s, they could do this.
Yeah.
And you bring out all these guys, and, if she really is pregnant, you basically do the show and people would watch that.
Do you think the guy would be stoked or not stoked?
Not
if he was
stoked.
well, dude, she makes a ton of money. You're gonna get some child support. If this guy is down on his luck, you might be stoked.
I didn't think of that. I did not think of that. But anyway, so Maury's not going to do it.
Sounds like you might do it.
I love Maury Povich. I've known him forever, and I know his wife is just one of my favorite people in the world, Connie Chung. She is just the best. So I would love to see. I'd love to see both.
What's he up to now?
He's doing what I should be doing,
which is
nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Vic in Chicago. Harvey, I'm extremely disappointed in Maury right now because this is peak Maury. Without Maury, there is no Bonnie Blue. This is the Thanos of paternity drama, and he goes that he's retired. No, we're using the Infinity Stones. You're coming back, bro. This is the house that you built, and you won't even come outside to look at it. No, I beg your finest pardon, but you're doing this.
I would produce this, Maury, if you would come back. I would gladly produce this show.
Coming up,
Gavin Newsom is taking a lot of heat for allegedly saying something racist promoting his book Young Man in a Hurry in Atlanta. I would assume Republicans are going to attack him because they're going to attack him for anything. But Democrats are on that bandwagon too.
be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Phoebe Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say, look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at.
Well, Democrats are in another circular firing squad. This is just one of the most ridiculous things I have seen in a long time. And I'm going to vent for a minute. Gavin Newsom is taking a lot of heat for allegedly saying something racist promoting his book Young Man in a Hurry in Atlanta. This is what Gavin Newsom said. And then I want to show you some pictures of the audience and see how ridiculous it is that, you know, I would assume Republicans are going to attack him because they're going to attack him for anything. But Democrats are on that bandwagon too.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. You know, I'm a 960 SAT guy. And, you know, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, you know, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. Maybe the wrong business to be in.
Okay, he didn't say, number one, you can't read either. He's not saying that, even though people are, you know, jumping to the conclusion that's what he meant. He never said that. He's saying he was challenged. He was average in terms of academics. And he wasn't saying, oh, all these people in the audience, you're assuming they're all black in the audience, and he's patronizing them, which now Democrats are saying, Republicans said it, but now Democrats are saying this, that he's patronizing the audience, and that it is an affront to black people. Well, number one, Mayor Andre Dickens said, you don't need to tell us when we should be offended in Atlanta, which I thought was a pretty brilliant comment. But I want to show you the audience. It looks like a Coldplay concert. I mean, look at this audience. This is not a black audience. It is a mixed audience, and it, if anything, is predominantly white. He in no way was suggesting in any way that, oh, you people must be, you know, have 940s on your SAT. He was making a point and making a joke that if you had a 940, I'm not going to look down on you. That's a joke. It means we're all in the same boat. Average. That is not a racist comment, and you have to look at the audience to understand who he's talking to. This wasn't a black audience. It wasn't the point. Even if it was a black audience, that wasn't the point. But, you know, Republicans jumped on this, and they said, oh, look at Gavin Newsom, he's racist. And the Democrats bit the bait. And not all of them, but enough of them that this has become an issue. And this is what Barack Obama meant when he talked about Democrats having circular firing squads, that they are just trying to kill each other. This is a bogus point. I'm sorry. This is not me endorsing Gavin Newsom. It's just saying enough that at a point, every comment that the most sensitive person who doesn't even understand what's being said gets offended, it suddenly becomes a thing. This is not a thing. If you want to look at Gavin Newsom and talk about his record in California, great. This is stupid.
Hi, this is Brittany, and I'm from Middletown, Ohio. Listen, when it comes to Gavin Newsom, Gavin has been relatable up until this point. I feel like he's a good candidate that a lot of people can relate to, and this was just a situation where he was trying to relate. However, you have to be careful. There are certain things that come off a certain way. And it might sound as if he's trying to, be relatable to the Black community, but, it just sounds a little off.
But I got to stop you. It wasn't the Black community. Look at the audience.
Looking at the crowd, it was a very mixed crowd. So I can honestly see how someone could take offense to that, being that I am African American. But I don't think it was, was he being racist? Was he gaslighting? Anything like that? I don't think it was that type of ordeal that happened.
No.
Coming up.
So Nick Reiner may be on his own in his murder trial because we have learned that his brother and sister, Romy and Jake, are not going to be helping him in his defense.
Be right back.
Okay, really sad, tragic news to report. We just broke a story that Martin Short's daughter, Catherine, has died by suicide. The LAPD came out to her home in the Hollywood Hills last night at around 6 p.m. And found that she had passed away from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. This is just a horrible tragedy. And, I remember Martin Short just inconsolable after his wife, I believe a wife of 30 years, passed away. And this has just got to be torture.
Yeah, that was about 15, 16 years ago that his wife passed away. And so Catherine was actually a clinical psychologist here in LA, and she was part of a nonprofit charity called Bring Change to Mind, and that was actually advocating for mental health awareness.
Oh, wow.
So it's
I did not know
very
that.
sad here, yeah.
And she was working?
She was working to help people with mental illness and to spread awareness.
I know we just broke this. Was she married? Do we know if?
No, she wasn't. No, not that we know of.
And kids?
No, no kids that we know of. Public knowledge. Yeah.
This is, it is so sad. And just knowing what Martin Short had gone through with his wife.
Yeah.
And then this is
awful.
It's just terrible. So Nick Reiner may be on his own in his murder trial because we have learned that his brother and sister, Romy and Jake, are not going to be helping him in his defense. At least they are not going to foot the bill, which they were going to do right after the murders of Rob and Michelle Reiner. If you remember, a private lawyer, very famous lawyer, Alan Jackson, was hired by the family right after the murders when Nick was arrested. And Alan was all in, ready to plead him not guilty by reason of insanity because Nick has schizoaffective disorder. We broke this story, diagnosed around 2020. And a month before the murders, doctors changed his meds because Nick was complaining about weight gain. And by changing the meds, he went into orbit and just lost control. And that would be the basis of pleading him. Family had a disagreement with Alan Jackson, and Alan Jackson left the case, and a public defender was appointed. And we thought that was going to be a temporary move, that a new private lawyer would be hired. That's not going to happen.
It won't happen without the resources. And Romy and Jake are saying in no uncertain terms that Nick's defense is Nick's defense. This is basically turning their back on their brother, at least from a financial perspective, at least from a financial backing his defense perspective.
I don't want to say turning his back. I think those are strong words.
Yeah, but they're not footing the bill for his defense. So he's on his own in terms of defending himself against these charges. And, you know, you can mount a vigorous defense. Public defender's office are very, very experienced. They can do a very good job on cases.
There's a problem. The problem is resources. That this public defender has been doing this for almost 20 years, and she's very good. The problem is that this case was going to cost a fortune to plead him not guilty by reason of insanity, because you have to get experts. It is extremely expensive to do what Alan Jackson was planning on doing. I don't know that the public defender has the resources to do in terms of the level of experts that Alan Jackson was going to get.
I think you're absolutely right. Almost without question, the type of defense you can mount with a public defender is very different than what you can do with private counsel like him. However, if it's a clear enough case, public defender's office do this all the time. They will be able to present a not guilty by reason of insanity case. Whether they can prevail on it, that's an open question.
Yeah, it is not an easy defense.
It's not.
Look, Rob and Michelle Reiner were the murders were horrific, and it has all the makings of a meth murder. That has not come out where people have said that, but you know, when Nick, after the murders, Nick went to Exposition Park, which is a drug den in Los Angeles, and from the people I've talked to, that was not the first time in that recent period of time that he had gone to Exposition Park. You go there for things like meth. The level of violence in this case was such that
you think it might have enhanced the psychosis, or at least
it has the markings of a meth murder. Now, the final thing to say is that the DA, Nathan Hochman, held a news conference after Nick pleaded not guilty. He has not pled yet not guilty by reason of insanity. He pled not guilty. But the DA said the death penalty is on the table.
That's right.
What we don't know is if the siblings of Nick are going to go to the DA and make a case not to ask for the death penalty because their
Rob
dad
was against it. Rob Reiner was vociferously. He was a very, very liberal person. He was against the death penalty. Will the siblings speak up sort of on his behalf to
we don't know.
To oppose death penalty? We don't know, but that will be a better indication of how they feel, if they're just not footing the bill or if they're really turning their back and want to see him put to justice.
Right.
I'm Stoney from Atlanta, Georgia, and I think that the Nick Reiner will change his plea from not guilty to reason of insanity. He's going to find some type of way to make that happen. In my opinion, the reason why I say that, because mental hospital versus prison, I think he would. And I think his siblings are definitely 100% correct in not supporting him at this time. And another thing, it's unfortunate that the person that he unalived did not believe in the death penalty, but I think he should get the death penalty.
We don't know. I mean, we don't know, A, if he's even going to be convicted, and B, what the DA will ask for if he is.
Coming up.
So T.I. has just ratcheted up the volume on his feud with 50 Cent. 50 posted this. He posted a picture of T.I.'s wife, Tiny. The picture is kind of unflattering, so T.I. just dropped this diss track.
Be right back.
So T.I. has just ratcheted up the volume on his feud with 50 Cent. You may recall, I believe it was during the pandemic, 50 and T.I. were going to do a versus. 50 backed out, and T.I. has been dragging him ever since. So what caused the latest flare-up is, you know, T.I. has been talking about this kind of nonstop. So 50 posted this. He posted a picture of T.I.'s wife, Tiny, and he says, keep my name out of your mouth. And he's clearly talking to T.I. The picture is kind of unflattering, so T.I. just dropped this diss track.
To me, you just a small man in a big shell. Bitch made ass need pigtails. You take no issue with them white boys. It's only our people that you find to be an eyesore. Huh? Grown men making meme, that's a weird ass flick. Kicking while they down, you a sucker for that. You hate women, get that why you can't keep one. You can't love them, cause from your mama you receive none. Oh no, you rather set fires to houses with babies in them. I got paperwork for in prison, your name is in them.
This might be the first time that 50 Cent might be on mute. Because
you think?
He came after him so hard, and there's just certain things that 50 Cent can't say. Unless the only thing 50 Cent can do is go in the booth and write another diss track, which he has not done. This is not the first diss track T.I. has come out with. It's the second. So 50 Cent has not done anything. He's actually actively posting on Instagram right now about a whole bunch of other stuff besides this. And people are like, oh, you're deflecting because you're losing.
I've never heard the word losing associated with 50
Cent. Me neither, but this might be the one. People are praising T.I. right now.
See, in our morning meeting, maybe we were wrong, but I thought T.I. was playing with fire.
T.I. doesn't care. T.I. has such a footprint in hip-hop that he doesn't care. He's calling 50 Cent out. He wanted the verses. He wanted to go toe-to-toe. He wants 50 to get in the booth and drop a diss track because he knows lyrically and musically, he's beating 50 Cent every day. Trolling, 50 Cent's that. But at the end of the day, when the troll doesn't work and you're a rapper and it's time to go in the booth and lay it down, 50's not laying down anything. So the people are saying T.I. is one leg up right now.
I mean, after the whole Diddy thing, and I honestly, I thought, why is T.I. taking 50 on? What you're saying has no relationship to what we said in the morning meeting, and I believe you, but I thought he was this. It was like, you know, the song "Bad Bad Leroy Brown." You don't.
No.
I thought that was 50 Cent.
You don't go out. 50 Cent is no one. You don't go after 50 Cent unless you know that you got stuff in the arsenal that you can beat him with. And right now, T.I. is killing him. The lyric he said about your mom, there's a music video for the diss track. And the way that T.I. set it up was the biggest flex. He has himself at dinner with his wife, his mom, his kids, and basically is saying, you don't even have a mom you can love. I got my family. I was able to protect my mom while she still lived in the hood to where I could get rich and get her out. You couldn't do that. And everyone is saying that's a big flex. 50 Cent doesn't have a mom. He doesn't have a girlfriend, doesn't have a wife, doesn't have, his son hates him. Who does he have? The internet? And T.I. is saying that in itself, flex, win.
My mind is blown. I never thought of it. My mind is blown.
I'm Brady Younger. I'm calling from Nashville, Tennessee today, and I definitely think that as public figures, drama is just part of the territory. It's expected, but I do honestly see how both people involved feel just like very offended because it got personal. Families got involved, and social media just opens up a whole world of negativity, and I can definitely see how it was very sensitive to both of them.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Coming up.
It gives new meaning to taking out the trash. So this happened in Ohio. We're going to show you this trash collector who is outside his vehicle and he's trying to load something in, and all of a sudden, a guy pops out.
Be right back.
Okay, it gives new meaning to taking out the trash. So this happened in Ohio. We're going to show you this trash collector who is outside his vehicle and he's trying to load something in, and all of a sudden, a guy pops out, and it turns out it's a criminal who is hiding from the cops. So he gets out, hightails it out. Now you see a cop running after him, and they eventually subdue this guy, but he was literally hiding in the trash, which I thought it kind of compresses everything.
I want to know how he got in that trash can, because those are tall, and that's a nimble man if he just jumped like bloop up and then didn't knock it over.
But wait a minute, am I right that these things compress the trash when...
No, that's the truck.
The truck?
He didn't get in there all the way. He was just in the trash bin.
Well, I don't know what the divider is, but
the guy was about to throw him in the truck, so he was about to get smushed, but he jumped out and ran.
Boy, he must have done something really bad to, I'm serious, to like risk that, getting
it's also
compressed.
Like, this is so Ohio. Like certain things happen, you're like, wow, that's very Florida. This is very Ohio.
Oh, there are nice parts of Ohio. Don't shade Ohio.
I'm Lindsay from Oklahoma, and I chose this topic because it's just this doesn't happen all the time. I'm
Really?
trying to figure.
No kidding.
Yeah, right, right. But it's like I'm a professional sanitation worker. You know, I work with banana peels. I work with beer cans. I work with broken dreams. I did not consent to being jump scared by a grown man launching himself out of the
Okay,
bowels
okay.
of
This
my
is
truck.
dumb luck that we got you, but help me out. When you throw trash in there, doesn't it kind of circulate and compress?
I think the cop car was sitting behind the garbage truck, and I don't know if the cops, obviously not. They didn't clue the dude in, the garbage guy in, that there was a guy in the truck.
Oh my
Like,
God, this is
Yeah,
this
they were
is
just sitting there
insanity.
watching.
Well, anyway, the guy was caught. The guy was caught, and the trash collector went on his merry way. What else you guys want to talk about?
Hi, my name is Kelly from Missouri. In regards to Nancy Guthrie, first off, my prayers just go out to her family because I just couldn't imagine like missing a loved one like that. But it's been over 20 days now, and they recently put up the $1 million reward. And to me, it just symbols like urgency. I think it tells me that they believe that someone knows something and that they're trying to break silence.
But you know what? I don't know. The urgency is peace for the family, but it feels like they've come to terms with the fact that the likelihood is Nancy is not alive. I mean, it seems to be what they're saying, which is just really so sad. One more.
Dane Drebin from Gig Harbor, Washington. I think it's pretty awesome that the hockey teams are doing so good, but I know there's going to be a lot of stories about the women's hockey team not wanting to go see Trump. I don't know. I heard that it was kind of a logistics thing. I don't know if that's the reason or not, but
you really you believe that?
No, I don't believe it.
No,
if I was a woman, I wouldn't want to go see him.
No. But here's the big thing. Here's the big thing. Do you think Trump is going to take a shot at the women's hockey team for not showing up to the State of the Union tonight?
I think he takes a shot at anybody that doesn't show up for him. So I definitely think that he will probably take a shot at them.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Coming up.
There is a now famous cottage up for rent, Airbnb. It is the cottage made very, very famous in heated rivalry, where the two hockey players, they kind of scurry away to kind of get to know each other and really create a romance.
Be right back.
Okay, there is a now famous cottage up for rent, Airbnb. It is the cottage made very, very famous in heated rivalry, where the two hockey players, they kind of scurry away to kind of get to know each other and really create a romance. It's this beautiful cottage. A lot of people took notice of it. So it is now being, they're putting it on Airbnb. And it's going for like $248 a night. The money is, at least initially, going to a charity. But all these images here were images captured in the show. They shot it there. The tourist activity in this area has actually gone up by 40% since it dropped on HBO Max. So one of the most popular streaming shows in a long, long time. And the beneficiaries now are the owners of the cottage. We will see you tomorrow.